Gotcha. Welcome all from movie buffs to your average television consumer. This is Scary Screenwriting, where we take your favorite movies and television shows and tell you why they're absolute garbage. I'm Tristan Maddox, and this is Scary Screenwriting. Five Nights at Freddy's, the game turned box office phenomena. Well, at least for die-hard fans. Released in 2023, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie was a worldwide phenomenon, but was popular not before the release, not before the beginning of the writing process, but since the release of its games. Boiled down, this is what Five Nights at Freddy's is about. Five Nights at Freddy's is a horror-themed video game franchise created by Scott Cawthon. The games are set in fictional establishments sort of like Chuck E. Cheese's, where the players take on a role of a nighttime security guard. The main gameplay involves surviving the night by monitoring security cameras and defending against animatronic characters that come to life and roam the facility. The narrative unfolds across multiple games, revealing a complex narrative/storyline that surrounds the animatronics and the facilities they roam in. Anyway, stretch that concept over 9 games, 28 books, 1 movie, 2 more on the way, and you have a franchise that has chronically online middle schoolers crawling to TikTok to cosplay as a purple man dancing to fan songs. The original draft of this movie was written in April of 2015, and with its original draft aiming for an R-rated, this movie should have been a box office hit, right?
Czy to Freddy Fazbear?
If I had to summarize this movie, I'd say it's a goofy 2000s power of friendship film that I could get the same and more from on The Amazing World of Gumball. I imagine most fans of this franchise are children, except that one guy.
No, it's just a theory.
Are you being paid by the word?
I don't like this movie. I never have. Never will. Stop looking at that. Genuinely though, jokes aside, this movie is definitely directed towards the fans of the games. Books. Oh yeah, and then there's the cookbooks, which is completely fine. I'm completely okay with that, and I don't see a problem with the movie being geared towards fans because, let's be honest, it was funded by the fan base. That's the whole reason Five Nights at Freddy's the movie exists. But it could have been better, like this scene right here.
I always come back.
It's pretty cool, right? But let's be honest, that's only cool to me because I know what the heck a Five Nights at Freddy's is. This movie needs to fix its major issues to become probably one of the greater video game movie adaptations. It needs less exposition. The movie needs to show more and less telling. Oftentimes, this movie's characters will spell out the mysteries for you, giving you new opportunities to figure out for yourself. Case in point, the missing children's incident. Vanessa shouldn't tell Mike how her father stuffed the children into the animatronic suits. Mike should discover them and solve the mystery alongside the audience. That's what a main character is for. And neglecting the audience that chance to connect with the main character leaves what? Resolve the characters' relationships with resolutions. A majority of the plot points of this movie are not resolved in any meaningful way. An example of this is the entire portion of Abby's aunt with her custody battle with Mike. The only resolution this plot gets is when she dies at the end of the movie, which is fun, I guess. But the aunt's death is never mentioned again, and it makes it feel like this movie could have been forgotten and shouldn't have been in there to begin with. They also need to decide whether it's a comedy or horror. This movie doesn't give enough of the horror it has in its genre. I felt sometimes that I was watching a Marvel movie with the kind of jokes made. Not much to be said about this in my opinion. It should have leaned more towards the horror elements in the movie. That being said, I wanted to splurge a little bit for you guys, so I rewrote the entirety of the opening scene of the movie. Overhauled, I should say. So please take a look at this. You hear the cheers and laughter of children. It's your birthday party at your favorite place in the whole wide world. You ask your mom when it's time to open your presents. It's not time yet, sweetie. So you go over to the arcade and play with your friends, who strangely aren't around. Who you find in their place, however, is a familiar face. Bonnie, you say with glee. The golden bunny greets you with a smile and motions you to follow him. Your friends are this way. Come on. Feeling intrigued, you follow. You wonder where your friends are and why they would have left you. It's your day, after all. The rabbit says, they wanted to surprise you, but they grew tired of waiting, so they asked me to come get you. It all makes sense to you now. It was just supposed to be a surprise, and you couldn't figure it out. He opens a door for you labeled employees only. Weird, but you press on regardless. The door slowly creaks closed, sealing the dark room off. As the door shuts, you hear. Pardon my attempt at writing, but what I think I've written here is a much stronger and gripping opening than anything this movie has to offer. I think this movie should lean in more to the mystery aspect. It shouldn't spell things out for you. Like what I said before. The aunt, we get rid of her. She doesn't need to be here. I don't know why she was included to begin with. Maybe to add more screen time, but that's really it. Vanessa should be more mysterious if included at all. Like I said, she is exposition, the character. She doesn't shut up about Freddy's. Her only purpose in this movie is to give backstory to Freddy's. That's it. The book. It doesn't make any sense, by the way. Like, at some point she just says, "I'll shoot you." Like, it doesn't make any sense. Her character is all over the place, and I don't really like her inclusion at all. This movie needs to work on a lot of things. But if you're gonna take anything from what I say today, I think this movie needs to show, not tell. And this movie has huge bundles of dialogue that take up all the fun out. Part of the fun of the games is piecing together bits and stories that you find, hidden details. This movie has none of that. It is all, I'm going to talk at you and you're going to listen to me. Which is boring. Nobody likes to be talked at. Anyways, also, before I say get out of here, I couldn't come up with a better ending, but I know what I watched in theaters shouldn't have made the final draft. And with that all being said, I've been your screenwriter, Tristan Maddox, and this has been Scary Screenwriting. Tune in next time where shoot, I don't know. Maybe I'll talk about Borderlands, because that seems cool. Maybe that'll actually turn out to be a good movie. See you guys next time.